Okay. So I'll speak in English then outside.
Yeah.
Outside, just speak in English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I didn't really prepare much to speak because speak about Zaidi. You don't really need to make a speech about Zaidi. You don't need to. I mean, I wrote in a little piece that I wrote when he passed away. I found out that Zaidi passed away when I was already on the airplane going to Uman for Rosh Hashanah. So it was too late. The doors were shut. But I right away started to write, and I wrote about how I didn't know Zaidi when I grew up. You know, when I grew up, I knew Zaidi, but I didn't know him when he was born. He was born in Poland, and in his town, he told me once that there were very few people that stayed away from the Polish public schools. He was one of maybe 7, 10 people in his whole town that stayed away, and it was only Torah and Kedusha in his chinuch. And I asked him once what language he spoke there. He said Yiddish. What did you think we spoke? Goyish. He spoke Yiddish. He spoke, and you know, then he ran running, and when he was 17 already, he was running for years. And a few years ago, I had the opportunity to interview him, and he told me some of the things that he did, and during those years, it was unbelievable. How he was arrested, and he was this way and that way, and all the things that he went through and endured. And then he came to America, and he was able to, you know, rebuild. Anyone that's able to rebuild, in general, would be an incredible thing. But to rebuild with emunah and with the ways of the Torah, you know, pi halacha, and then to actually love the Torah and to love learning and to be so close to Hashem after anyone that's been through the war years is an unbelievable thing. And Zaidi represented that. He kept going in those ways because it was so deep inside of him. Nowadays, we all try all sorts of eitzot and all sorts of things to learn better and to daven better and to do all these things. To Zaidi, it was who he was. He was a yid, and that's what a yid does. And many times he would sit there at the Shabbos table, and his Shabbos Suda was incredible. He would just sit there and go through the entire Zemiris, from the Zoyar to the Mishnayos to every single Zemer, and then he'd learn Prakim and Mishnayos at the Suda, and then he would say, "What are we doing? You know, we learned, we said the Zemiris, let's go." His idea, everything was go weiter in the ways of Hashem. And I mean, what I remember Zaidi most was, you know, from the later years, and from the later years of him sitting there in the kitchen, and he had the big Gemaras, the old Chassan Shas, I think from my other Zaidi, and he would sit there, and he would learn. People thought maybe he was just learning, but a couple of times I went over to him and I said, it was Grada Yevamis maybe 15 years ago, I was learning in high school. I said, Zaidi, I'm not understanding this very hard Sigin Yevamis. So it was in the farm room. He said, no, sit down. He went through 2-3 blot with me, explaining every shakla v'tarya, everything, but like water, like hardest sugyas in Yevamis, like water. He understood a person doesn't sit there and learn if he doesn't understand. In later years, he couldn't learn anymore, but you know, he used the art scroll, and then after that, even that went. But I remember maybe 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago in Pesach time, we came and we were there for a long tkufa in the house, 6 weeks. And I would always make a note to look, where was he holding in the Gemara. So it turned out from those 6 weeks, which included Pesach, which there was a lot of family and a lot of sudos, in those 6 weeks we finished 800 blot. I would go through each thing. בשש שבועות שאני הייתי בארצות הברית, הוא הלך 800 דפים. זה היה עם פסח, ועם כל הבלבולים של הסודות, והוא ישב, למד, תעשה חשבון, זה comes out ש"ס כל 3 חודשים, משהו כזה. אבל כמה שנים שהוא עשה את זה, ש"ס זה היה, and כל בוקר, he took his Tehillim, פרק שירה, the whole davening with the tefillah of Rav Noam Elimelech, everything was, he was a yid. And one time I was there in New York, and I saw he was learning. I would always look to see if he was b'shas. He was b'maseches nida. אז יום מחר אני ראיתי שהוא בברוכס בלמד בייז. So אני ראיתי שהוא גמר את ש"ס, אבל אף אחד ידע. אז אני אקח רגל אחת, ואני נותן לה, זיידי, פה יש רגל, מה זה? בשביל מה זה? כי אין דק ש"ס. נותן לי חיוך, זהו. לא צריך את הסיום הש"ס, לא צריך שום דבר, רק ללמוד את התורה, לחזור כל פעם. בשנים האחרונים הוא לא היה יכול לתפוס, המוח שלו לא היה כל כך חזק, והוא הפך לסידור, בסוף רק את הסידור. לקח את הסידור, האמא שלי יש לך את הסידור עכשיו פה בצפת, והסידור הוא הלך במטבח, הוא התחיל בהתחלה של הסידור, הוא הלך את כל הסידור. יום כיפר קוטן, ראש השנה, יום כיפר, הכל. הוא הלך את כיס, הכל הסידור, הוא סגר את זה כמה דקות מההתחלה. כל היום, כל הסידור. האנשים, they laugh, מה הוא עושה, אבל זהו. כשהייתי לפני שנתיים, אני באתי בבוקר מוקדם מארץ ישראל, והמוח לא היה כל כך טוב, והם אומרים, זיידי, נו, יוילי יסדו. לא איזנישט, לא איז יוילי. הוא הלך, זה היה פעם ראשונה שהזיידי לא הכיר אותי. כאב לי קצת, ובתפילה, כשאני הייתי אצלו בתפילה כל פעם, אני חשבתי, בסוף, כשאנחנו בקבורה, כל הדברים, כל האנשים, כל העסקים וכל הדברים, אנחנו לא זוכרים את זה. זה גם בחיים, זה לא מה שאנחנו מביאים לחיים ארוכים שלנו. מה שמביאים את המשנייס, את הש"ס, את הסידור, האוסייס. זה די... העיניים שלו, אני חושב, רואה את האוסייס של הקדושה יותר מכל ההסתכלות בכל העולם. כמעט כל היום כשהוא היה ער, העיניים שלו היה באוסייס הקדושה, הקדושים. Zaidi should be a meditation for the family and for everyone. We should be to continue going in his ways of just learning and davening and being close to Hashem, because that's what we are. We're Yidden. It should be meditation.
Oh.